Hey 49ers fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome into Chat Sports, and today we have some fresh San Francisco news. We'll look at the playoff standings as well as talk about and put grades on the 49ers loss to the Atlanta Falcons and what was a very, very bizarre 29-22 loss that doesn't fully eliminate your chances at the number one overall seed and the NFC West, but it does make things a little bit more difficult. Let's jump right in. First off, the Niners had 0 injuries to report, so good news overall today. 0 injuries, no worries. Everyone who played in the game came out completely healthy. That is good news for our 49ers. Now, here's the deal. Other good news is the Niners did technically clinch a playoff spot yesterday with the Rams losing. So the Niners either had to win or have the Rams lose. The Rams did end up losing big time to the Dallas Cowboys. And so your Niners are going to the playoffs here in next year, technically in 2020. But they'll be in the playoffs this year is what we're trying to say right here. The problem is that the loss creates a wide open race for the number one seed, which, as you guys can see right now, 5 of the 6 playoff teams in the conference now have a shot at home field advantage. So the whole problem that we have is the NFC West, but the NFC West was always going to come down to the final game, and again, it's going to come down to Week 17 in Seattle. That will determine who wins the division and who gets at least one playoff game. But now you have a scenario where the Rams, where the Packers, where obviously the Seahawks, the Packers, the Saints, the Seahawks, these are teams that can all be the number one seed that would not originally have had a shot had the Niners not lost this game. So, again, did a lot of things change because of the loss? No, you still can be the 1 seed, you still can be the 5 seed. Things are still going to come down the final week of the year, but it definitely makes things more interesting and gives teams like the Saints, and who play tonight on Monday Night Football, the Packers, who are playing a lot better, more hope at having home field advantage, which we all know is very, very important going forward. And Seattle did win yesterday, 30-24 to the Carolina Panthers, which was not the best Seattle game. Their defense kind of folded there towards the end. Carolina was not supposed to be in that game, but they did intercept Kyle Allen multiple times. It was a fine Seattle win. So now you got to go take care of business next week against the Rams, and then gear up for the Seattle game to either win the NFC West, maybe have home field, but maybe just be a wild card team. Things are going to be changing a lot over the next couple of weeks, and a loss to a lowly Falcons team, I should say, a Falcons team with only 4 wins, does not help your case for trying to get home field advantage when Levi Stadium being the road to the NFC Championship, the road to the Super Bowl. But again, didn't happen, so we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. A tough overall loss for the Falcons. We're going to break that down in terms of the grades here in 1 second. A little bit of news, because I know you guys are asking about this. Are the 49ers actually interested in Terrell Suggs? Jason La Canfora, I believe from the NFL Network, tweeted the other day that Niners are one of the teams that are mulling a waiver claim for the recently released defensive end from the Arizona Cardinals. Now, he, of course, played in all 13 games for Arizona, had 5.5 sacks, 4 forced fumbles. But there's also a report that he only will sign with a team if it is his former team in the Baltimore Ravens. So he's ring chasing. It's very, very simple. Now, you would technically still be ring chasing with the 49ers, but it feels like he's trying to go home. He's trying to go to Baltimore. He's trying to get signed by them because there is that report that if he does not sign with the Ravens, he will go ahead and retire. So would he be a great pickup for the 49ers? Absolutely. I think we could use a pass rusher on the outside, especially with D Ford having his whole hamstring injury. Might be out until we get to the postseason, but it looks like from 5,000 feet above or 50,000 feet from the air that he wants to be a Baltimore Raven. That's kind of his move right now. So, want to update you guys on that just in case you're wondering about Terrell Suggs. The 49ers are mulling it. They might just go ahead and throw one out there and see if he wants to join us because we are a winning football team. We are locked into the postseason. But overall, I think he does want to end up being a Baltimore Raven. If you're watching on YouTube, an ad's going to pop up here. Just scroll down and answer the pinned question we have in the comment section, which is, should the Niners go out and sign Terrell Suggs? Would he make a difference? Let me know down at the pinned comment down below. The ad will run, then we'll jump right back in to our grades. All right, so we do 6 grades today: offense, defense, special teams, and then 3 individual grades to wrap up this video on a Monday. We start with the offense. They actually get a C-. In my opinion, they played well. They played fine. But the whole team and the offense really lacked a lot of energy. They moved the ball, but then ended up settling for field goals instead of touchdowns. And for whatever reason, again, the Niners have no running game. The running game has been basically non-existent. Yeah, sure, 120 yards rushing, but no one is having big days. You take away a big, 37-yard run from Tevin Coleman, and the Niners as a whole rushed for, 2.9 yards per carry. It just was not a good running day against a Falcon team. Let's be honest, their defense is not very good. This is not a Falcons defense that should have pushed the 49ers around a little bit. It felt like the Niners let them kind of hang around and gave them a chance. They had the Matt Breida fumble, and then all of a sudden, the Falcons got a little bit of hope, and they ended up winning. The wide receivers did nothing also. I mean, literally no one besides George Kittle, who is a tight end, had more than 2 catches. Emmanuel Sanders had 9. He had 9 total yards receiving. It was just like, why now? Why against the Falcons? It felt like, honestly, they were overlooking Atlanta. They were getting ready for the Rams and then the Seahawks, and they weren't worried about a team that, let's be honest, has not put a lot of good stuff on film, but still has a lot of talent in Julio Jones and Matt Ryan, Devontae Freeman, and Vic Beasley, and in the end, it came back to bite you. And again, I don't know if the injuries are what's hurting Matt Breida and Tevin Coleman. They've had injuries pile up this year, but besides Mostert, who didn't even have a great game yesterday, the Niners' run game is completely anemic, which is a huge part of the offense because Jimmy G can't just throw 4 touchdowns every single game. He's capable of it, but it's just not going to happen in the modern NFL. Who's to blame for the loss to the Falcons? Let me know what you guys think. Was it coaching? Was it the defense? Was it the offense? Was it special teams? Let me know what you guys think down below. Who was to blame for the 49ers' loss to the Atlanta Falcons? Speaking of losing, we do say this all the time at Chat Sports, the Niners have never lost back-to-back games, so betting on the Niners next week against a Rams team that got thumped by Dallas is a very safe bet. Chatsports.com/bet, using our promo code 49ers is the best way to get in on the betting action. 120% deposit bonus is the right way to get an extra, like we said, 120% deposit bonus. That way you guys can make more money with their money betting on the Niners. So again, the Niners have never lost back-to-back games this year. This is a great time to bet on them, in my opinion. Chatsports.com/bet using the promo code 49ers. Okay, defense. They were fine. B-. They got a couple of sacks, but the secondary got absolutely torched by Julio Jones. No other player for the Falcons really did anything besides Julio Jones in the passing game. I think he had like 147 yards receiving on, he had 11, 12 catches. I don't even remember how great it was, but he was balling out. Now, you were missing K'Waun Williams, Emmanuel Mosley, or Richard Sherman. You're missing Tart. Like 60% of your secondary was not there. But you know when you play Atlanta, that's the one player you have to stop, especially on that final drive, the final play on the touchdown reception from Julio Jones. So again, were they fine? Was the defense fine? Sure, but 29 points overall, and I know there was extra points there at the end, so you take some of those away. But in the end, this defense should have shown up a lot more against the Falcons' front 5 in terms of their pass protection. That is really bad, and an overall offense that has not been able to score against the better defenses so far this year. Was it 3 sacks, 2 sacks of Matt Ryan? That was it. They just didn't seem like they showed up. The Niners as a whole didn't feel like they showed up. Could they have won the game? Yes, I mean, if Julio doesn't break the plane there, you win the game, it's over, it's all fine. We're talking about how they escaped by the skin of their teeth, but you didn't. You lost the game. And as we said earlier, the overall 1 seed and the home field advantage, that's slowly slipping away. You can't have mental brain lapses like they had in this game. And Kyle Shanahan said there's a lot of little plays that added up, and that's how you lose football games. But overall, the defense, they were fine. They were good enough to win, but they weren't their normally great eliteness that we need to see from our Niner defense, especially when we get to the postseason. Special teams, A-. I mean, yeah, Robbie Gould missed an extra point, but in the end, the extra point didn't really matter that much. I mean, sure, make your kicks. That's important. Points matter. I understand. I can see the comments saying, oh, it didn't matter. Okay, still went 3 for 3 kicking the field goals. He was okay. They didn't have any sort of major issues in terms of punt protection or punt coverage or kick return. They actually got a fumble of Kenyon Barner on that kickoff. So overall, the special teams to me, not a problem. A-. Let's just go ahead and keep moving on. Okay, go ahead and get into some individual grades here. Just a couple. Jimmy Garoppolo, A-. He, again, fine. Fine seems to be the 4-letter word we're using right now that starts with F for the 49ers, at least today. He's won with these kind of stats before. 22 of 35, 200 yards and a touchdown. No bad interceptions. Wasn't sacked a bunch. Just felt like receivers aren't making enough plays, or he's going to George Kittle when he should be trying to look more down the field. Now, again, I don't know the answer to that. George Kittle had an excellent day. He caught like over a dozen balls. He was catching this and catching that and bailing them out here and there. But as they would get closer and closer to the red zone, the drives tended to stall, and that's as much on the running backs, as much on the wide receivers as it is on Jimmy Garoppolo. So he gets an A-, excuse me, because he was fine, because his stats are good enough to win, especially with this defense. But I think credit goes to the Falcon defense for playing a lot better than even probably Jimmy Garoppolo expected them to. Again, it felt like they went into this game expecting to roll them like they did that Carolina visit to Levi Stadium, 51-13, and they found themselves suddenly in the middle of the fourth quarter going, oh shoot, this is actually a decent Falcon team with good talent. We have to figure it out. They ended up not being able to. Before we move on, Gotta give a thank you to every single one of you guys who has subscribed to this channel. 10,000 subscribers. We started it in July, and from July to almost, not even Christmas, not even the New Year, we got to 10,000 subscribers. I mean, we are growing at an insane rate here on the Chat Sports Only 49ers YouTube channel. I greatly appreciate all of you for subscribing. If you have not subscribed yet, you want to jump on the hype train, we're growing. 10,000 other people have already done it. Go ahead, click the red subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. Okay, 2 more grades here. We're going to stay on offense. Matt Breida, he gets a D- because the fumble really hurt the team. You're going to throw in Tevin Coleman into this grade because he did nothing. Also, I do not know if they are injured, if they are still banged up, if we're relying too much on Raheem Mostert. I have no idea. 4 carries for 11 yards and no touchdowns is not the Matt Breida that we expected earlier on in the season. And it's really not the Tevin Coleman either, because Coleman had one nice run and that was basically it. Where have these guys gone? That's the question. Where are they? Because I have no idea where these guys ended up going. They are struggling right now. Figure it out. We need to be able to run the football. And it's just December, duh. But also going into January, maybe February, the running game has got to come back. The Falcons are not a good run defense, and they suddenly looked really good against us as a whole. I do not know what's going on. The Breida fumble hurt. He gets a D-, but the running game has been atrocious the past couple of weeks. What grade would you guys give the running backs this week? It should be low. Let me know in the comments section down below. Before our final grade, though, quick update. There's still a couple days before Christmas. There's still time to get a purchase in at chatsports.com/49 sale and get that special someone in your life. Maybe you got a brand new girlfriend. She likes the 49ers. Get her some sweet swag, Nike stuff, hats, shirts, all authentic. Chatsports.com/49 sale. I'm sure they're going to have her size. Go buy it now. That way you're not that guy on Christmas Day with no cool gifts. Final grade. We have to give one good grade at least today. George Kittle. Kittle, A+, continues to dominate. 13 catches, 134 yards. Was targeted 17 times. I mean, talk about the security blanket. I think someone during the broadcast said on Fox that this is the Rob Gronkowski of the next 10 years, and I fully agree with that. I mean, he was fantastic. Best part of the entire team. He's the best player, I think, on the team right now, and he keeps to dominate at a level that we have not seen in the tight end position since Rob Gronkowski, which it's rare to have that many good tight ends so closely linked in terms of NFL history. He was good. The offense moves through him. I get that. We need the other parts of the offense to, as you move through George Kittle, find other options as well. Garoppolo's got to be able to find receivers. Running backs have to be able to run the football, and the offensive line needs to do a little bit better protection as well. In the end, again, this is a tough loss, and I'm a little upset this morning. You probably tell when I was energetic, I was excited. You needed to win this football game because home field advantage is very important. We know that in the playoffs, Levi Stadium versus going to CenturyLink or Lambeau Field or the Superdome. Sure, you've won there before, but can you do it again? It's very difficult to do. They need to figure out the running game, and they need to not overlook the Rams going forward, because the Rams, they might be, out of it at 8-6 right now, but they sure as heck want to beat us next week before the Seattle game. Seahawks are in the future. Forget about them. Just wait until that week. Focus on this week. Get right, get healthy, move forward. A tough loss. We'll have to grade it, obviously, the next Monday after the Saints, after the Rams and the 49ers game. Again, appreciate all you guys here at Chat Sports. 10,000 subscribers is a great achievement. Let's go to 15,000 here in the next couple of months. All time we have for today. For Chat Sports, I'm Mott, signing off. Enjoy the rest of your day.